ABC 739 News in the Morning.
And make sure you pack something else before your kids head off to school. Up next, the necessary skills to make sure his or her speech is up to par.
Well, now that kids are back in school, they've got their new clothes, the backpacks, the school supplies. There's another tool to learning that some young students may not have in order to succeed. Mary Ann's here with an expert to show parents how to watch out for the trouble spots in their child's first years at school.
Thanks, Jason. Communication is one of the biggest keys to learning. Certified speech pathologist Leah Moryosef says that there are ways parents can identify problems and how to correct them themselves. First of all, what's the age group, Leah, that we're talking about?
Well, what I found is that children can often start as early as age 3.5 to correct their speech sounds. A lot of times they don't get the help until 7 or 8 in the public schools, but I've found in my practice of over 16 years, they can actually begin to learn the speech sounds as early as age 3.5.
Okay, so let's get some of the identifying factors that there is a problem and what to look out for. The first one would be, as you mentioned, any child entering kindergarten, but a child who has a hoarse or raspy voice, what does that mean?
Well, some children have that sort of voice that parents think is just normal. Well, that's just the way their voice sounds. But a hoarse or raspy voice is not normal, and it's an indication that there's something going on with the vocal cords. And in most cases with children, it's because they're overusing their voice. So the program I developed does have a card, a therapy card, I call them, that addresses voice problems as well as articulation problems.
Okay, and we have to go through the next 3, 4, and 5 really quickly here. A child who stutters, a 3-year-old who cannot be understood by others, and an 18-month to 2-year-old who isn't saying anything. So those are big red flags, aren't they?
There are a lot of big issues in communication that should be addressed early on. Children who stutter up to age 5 is normally considered within the normal range. However, if it's bothering the child or they're not being able to be understood by their peers, it should be addressed. The SpeechWays program that I developed also has a stuttering card. Children who are age 3 and can't be understood at all, that is a red flag, and parents should go see a speech pathologist.
Okay, and correction tips include these that we're going to show right now. Don't get hung up on flashcards during conversation. Have the child say the word again. Parents model the correct sound when needed, and praise your child, right?
Right, and one of the hallmark characteristics of the SpeechWays program that I developed is that we shouldn't be teaching kids how to speak in flashcard speak. We should be working with them in conversation.
Okay, and your website is?
MySpeechWays.com.
Okay, and that's a kit. It comes really small, right? So
yes, it's several therapy cards. There are 12 cards in all, and each card teaches a different sound or voice or stuttering.
All right, Leah Moryosef, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
SpeechWays.com.
MySpeechWays.com.
MySpeechWays.com.
Yes,
all right, thanks very much. Whitney, over to you now for a look at the weather.